Hi there folks, I'm Ahron Young at the International Broadcasting Convention here in Amsterdam. A huge program coming up, a lot to get through. First, so your ticker feed this hour. The UK and the world mourn the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The British government announces more details as the UK now enters a period of 7 days of mourning. Introducing King Charles III, who becomes the new monarch immediately, expected to address the nation later today. And in other news, thousands of news and media professionals converge here on Amsterdam, the opening of the International Broadcasting Convention for 2022. And it is so great to be with you. I'm Ahron Young. Wherever you are joining us from around the world, you're watching live coverage as the world now mourns the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The monarch passed away peacefully at the age of 96 yesterday. It ends her remarkable 70 years on the throne and paves the way for a new head of the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, King Charles III. Her Majesty died on Thursday afternoon at her Balmoral estate after spending much of the summer there. Over the past 7 decades, the Queen has witnessed an extraordinary amount of change. She took over from her father way back in 1952, taking on a role which she famously said has no rule book. In her final moments, the Queen was surrounded by family, including grandson and heir to the throne, Prince William, and his brother, Prince Harry. Ticker News dedicating our coverage to a woman who gave us strength on the darkest days. Queen Elizabeth was a woman of integrity and of loyalty, and a person we were, of course, proud to call our own. Earlier this week, the Queen met with the new British Prime Minister, Liz Truss, at Balmoral. The Prime Minister was at Downing Street when she heard of the news.
Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built. Our country has grown and flourished under her reign. Britain is the great country it is today because of her. Her life of service stretched beyond most of our living memories. In return, she was loved and admired by the people in the United Kingdom and all around the world. She has been a personal inspiration to me and to many Britons. Her devotion to duty is an example to us all. Earlier this week, at 96, she remained determined to carry out her duties as she appointed me as her 15th Prime Minister. It is a day of great loss, but Queen Elizabeth II leaves a great legacy. Today, the crown passes, as it has done for more than 1,000 years, to our new monarch, our new head of state, His Majesty, King Charles III. With the King's family, we mourn the loss of his mother, and as we mourn, we must come together as a people to support him, to help him bear the awesome responsibility that he now carries for us all. Throughout her life, she's visited more than 100 countries, and she has touched the lives of millions around the world. In the difficult days ahead, we will come together with our friends across the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth and the world to celebrate her extraordinary lifetime of service. It is a day of great loss, but Queen Elizabeth II leaves a great legacy.
Now, the UK's opposition leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has also paid his respects to Britain's longest-serving monarch.
Today we mourn the passing of a remarkable sovereign. It is a deep private loss for the royal family, and our first thoughts are with them at this time. The nation shares in their grief. Queen Elizabeth II created a special, personal relationship with us all. A relationship based on service and devotion to her country. Nobody under the age of 70 has known anything other than Queen Elizabeth II on the throne. For the vast majority of us, the late Queen has been simply the Queen.
Well, as we mentioned at the beginning, we are broadcasting live from the International Broadcasting Convention in Amsterdam. Let's talk about the future of audio-visual production in this new broadcast and streaming world, of course, and get the details on that. For more, let's bring in Emili, Planas, CTO and Operations Manager at Mediapro. Great to see you. The experience for a lot of media companies during this time has been to do more with less. Has that been the experience for you?
More and better with less. Yeah.
So spread out thinner, but still keep the quality up, and so therefore you turn to technology, and a company turns to its CTO.
Yeah, that's the
How's that
key,
for pressure?
Yeah, that's the pressure that we have. No, we have the different markets, and each market needs different solutions. There is a very large gap between the low-profile production that they don't accept the big budgets, but we have capabilities to use cheap equipment, cheap workflows, software solutions. But the difference in pricing when we are going to tier 1 productions for covering La Liga, the Champions League, and this kind of sports is very, very big. In the middle, there is something that is not well defined, and sometimes we need to mix both worlds to create something that seems good quality and
So essentially
price.
what you're saying is it's not a transition from the old to the new, it's essentially to find a mix between the two for whatever situation you're confronted with.
All the technical things are evolving constantly.
Yeah.
And we work every day trying to innovate, trying to be more efficient, and now we have much more options than 10 years ago. And the challenge is how to manage these different ways to work, these different options in our market. But well, it's part of the job we have.
So an overall positive experience, would you say, during COVID for your business and the media business in general, would you say? Has it essentially leapfrogged a huge number of years that it might have taken to achieve this, or has it been really frustrating?
Well, it was an accelerator. It was. We tried to introduce, for example, remote production 12 years ago, and we needed more or less 3 months to define technically the solution, and we needed 6 months to approve if we go or not, because it's a new way to operate and it's a new business that affects all business units.
Yeah.
We started working, and when the pandemic arrives, we was very well prepared to keep working better and more with remote production. And now all the market accepts that this is something that we can do with no problems, no limitations. In the content world doesn't affect the production if it's remote or not. The accelerator means that the people understood that we have no limitations if we are connected.
How long have you been working in the industry for?
Me?
Yeah.
More than 35 years.
So I would imagine that during that time, 35 years ago, the conversation was, I work in television, and it's changing to I work in content that just happens to be anywhere, right?
Exactly. 35 years ago or 20 years ago, television has some glamour, and people, when you say, I am working on television, you are a cameraman and so on.
Yes.
Today, this
It's like you worked in the space industry.
Yeah, exactly. Today, if you say, I'm working on television, people say, okay,
Yeah.
what are you doing? But what changed is we are not working on television. We are creating content. And this content can be shown in different kind of screens. You can start following a series in your iPhone, and when you arrive at home, keep watching on your smart TV.
Yeah. And that's how it works, right? I mean, that's the way that in my phone, I want to start watching content, and then I want to continue watching it on my TV, and when I get sleepy, I want to go to bed and watch it on a different device.
Exactly.
It's just all devices, and you're the guy who has to make it work. Emili, thank you so much for your time.
A pleasure.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
very
it,
much.
and thank you so much for joining us here at Ticker News. Of course, I'm Ahron Young. Plenty more to come. Stay with us.